the way the retreat is set up is specifically designed to actually take you from that kind of space, if you will. We're going to give you a little bit of, I'm not going to throw you directly into a whatever, because I'm going to allow your nervous system to work its magic to actually be able to slow you down. And then we move to different levels of just depth in what we're dealing with, what we're experiencing, so that all of that wonderful nature really does begin to, nature, the culture, all of these things, like I said a few minutes ago, wrap around you and really become integral to the whole experience and the whole healing and the whole integration that everybody's going to experience. So the whole idea here is that the healing happens in a very intentional way. I'm not expecting the retreat goers to actually have to be any responsibility around that. That is for us who have designed, put it together, create the day-to-day activities, and then carry you through to the various ultimately treatments, and then move you back into real 20th century, 24th century, whatever year we're at here, so that you're actually so it's been, like I said, it's a conscious thing that we have actually done to actually design this so that you do heal. And then afterwards, there is post-retreat stuff that happens again to make sure that it's stuck, because it's not, I'm not really, and nobody should be interested in a retreat that, you just go off to and then leaves you hanging at the end, wondering 72 hours after you get back, well, what was that all about? And why? Like, none of that, right? So all of this is about carrying this thing through, not only with the healing that happens there, the very intentional way we design things, but also the intentional stuff at the end. So it's not like I just, put you on the plane and it's bye-bye. And it's not like you don't see the other women. Those relationships have an opportunity to continue and to build. So it's a very important thing to acknowledge that this has been put together to do exactly that. And all those reasons that you gave at the beginning about you can't heal in a place where you're comfortable, because the brain is set up so it doesn't really measure comfort the way we measure comfort. Comfort to the brain is you're safe and you're alive, period. Thank you. And it's known. Like, it's a known experience. You made it through that whatever that was, you made it through that the last time. So that's known, that makes it safe. It might not have been comfortable. It might not have been something that you like. That's not important to the brain. The brain is just looking for known and did you make it through? So are you safe? Are you alive? That's it. Those are the only things. And so it's very difficult to actually heal in a place where all of that stuff has been going on, right? So yeah, that's not going to work.
Beautiful thing is, after you've experienced an immersion like this, you do bring parts of that back with you so that you've reset your baseline, right? So every time I go to India and I stay at an Ayurveda center, I just move up a notch in my baseline. So, I pick up habits and things like tongue scraping. I can't function without tongue scraping every morning. Like, it's just so important to my daily living. But these little things, eye washing, the little things, and it's like you pick up one thing and you're like, oh, I'm going to keep that. And then that's an anchor for the other things to kind of follow along, especially with your groups and the post-retreat consulting that you do, and the groups that are together that can hold each other accountable and be like, did you do your practice this morning, and what time did you wake up, and what time did you go to bed, and how are you eating, whatever. But there's a whole reset that happens to the body, and then when you come back, you're like, oh God, that felt so good. Like the last time in India, and I'll tell you, it doesn't take much time to feel the power of this in your body and your mind. But a lot of us associate physically more than we do mentally. So I'll focus on that for now. When you're getting these treatments and you're moving your body every morning and you're practicing the breathing techniques and you are having the therapies that are very, very specific, there's not just random movements that they're doing. The goal is, especially when they're doing the massages, is to consolidate all the toxins into the system to be eliminated, right?
Mhm.
And when you start reducing these toxins and you're stimulating lymphatic flow, inflammation just goes away. It is wild. I suffer from a lymphatically challenged system. So I'm always, when you feel puffy, I think most women can relate to this. We feel puffy and it's like, I just don't feel light, right? And so after 7 days, 6 days at an Ayurveda center, that's gone. And I, every time, have lost anywhere from 5 to 8 pounds just of inflammation. No weight loss, really, but that inflammation and that puffiness goes away, and my collarbones are showing again. And, like the little things. And you just, once again, because there's a lot of stimulation to releasing the toxins in the brain, the glymphatic system. So that's where the clarity of mind comes in, because you're like, oh, get that gunk out of the way. And like, it's like when you're tuning into a radio, for those of you, I think all of our audience remembers radio channels back in the day when you had to turn the dial, there was static in between. And when you got further away from a location, it got staticier and staticier. Those aren't real words, but I just made them up. But it's like you're just driving into the source, and the static starts to fall away, and you're like, oh, I can hear this so clearly now. I'm talking AM, FM radio for those of y'all that remember those days. Now we're all about satellite radio. So it's kind of imagine the static going away so you can actually sit with your true thoughts, and the mind just starts to, I think of the mind as just this fluttering monkey running around, or this back and forth. And it's like things just start to calm down and center. And you're like, oh, then you make better choices. Then, like you said, you are pretty much lethal because you don't have any distractions, right? You are focused. And I think aside from the feeling in the body, the feeling I have in my mind is probably my most favorite part of it.
And to say, so that leads into kind of the next question here is, how does it relate? How does Ayurveda in particular relate to identity and leadership? And I think that's getting clear on, like getting all that stuff out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something that I want to make sure that everybody heard is it's the glymphatic system. It is not the lymphatic system. So folks, there's two different systems here. One we're talking about in the brain, and the other one we're talking about in the body. So the glymphatic system is what Tracy is talking about, and that clears a lot of stuff out. And that really does allow you to be more in control of everything, like your body, your systems, your ability to respond quicker, clearer, and that whole idea of just being way more lethal, because it's, and And you can be nicer too, because you're not in as much pain from all the inflammation as well. So that's a huge shift. And that's so the Keystone isn't, I mean, it's not set out as a health retreat, so to speak. It is set out to actually help move all of this through. Because when people come into the retreat, we've already had lots of really deep discussions. We've already had some coaching. We've already had some experiences and an understanding. I like to get some devices to people prior to. So like the Apollo Neuro and the Muse. And the reason I like to get that to them is in conjunction with their smartwatch or ring. This allows them to really begin to understand some of their own patterns and where they're tripping themselves up. And we start to really delve into that. So when they come into the Keystone retreat, you already got a lot of understanding about who you are and what some of your systems are and some of your blind spots might be. So to come in and figure it out, this is really allowing the women to take full control of who they are without the stuff. And by the way, I don't know that there's a woman out there that wouldn't be happy to have the inflammation down. And that goes for, I mean, I've seen women who are heavy into weight training and, you know, yeah, you still all got inflammation happening, right? And you feel better on a physical level. You just feel better in all levels because you don't have those things hanging around that are obstructing or causing the pain or causing your body to hold on to extra water, extra stuff that it doesn't need. It can clear it out more efficiently, which is what we're all trying to do. So it really does help create opportunities for better leadership, better decision making all the way around. So I love how you put all of that